y'all, it's Luigi. Welcome back. Today we're going to do another 2-minute tutorial talking all about what EVs or effort values are and the best way to EV a Pokemon for VGC. So, EVs are extra stat boosts that your Pokemon can accumulate in a couple of different ways through either playing the game normally or by specifically setting EVs for competitive play. Each Pokemon can have a total of 510 EV points, but since it takes at least 4 EVs to increase a stat by 1 point, then only 508 EV points are actually functional, meaning they do anything. Also, each stat will max out at 252 EV points, and you can't add any additional points to a stat after that. There's no way to see exactly how many EV points you've applied to each stat on your Pokemon, but you can click the X button on a Pokemon stat summary to see a radar chart that indicates kind of a rough idea of your Pokemon's EV spread. You're probably asking yourself, what should my Pokemon's EVs be so that they can be as good as possible and competitive? Well, there's no right way to EV a Pokemon, but there are a couple of guidelines you can take into account. So for starters, never put EV points into a stat that your Pokemon isn't using. Physical attackers don't need special attack EVs, and special attackers don't need attack EVs. And Trick Room Pokemon definitely don't need speed EVs. You want them to be as slow as possible. A good place that I like to recommend beginner start is to pick your Pokemon's 2 most important stats and just max them out, and then put the extra 4 EVs onto the 3rd most important stat. So for example, let's say I have a fast physical sweeper like Landorus Therian. I might use a 252 attack, 252 speed, 4 HP EV spread for that Pokemon. If you'd like to get a little fancier with your EV spreads, think about what exactly you're EVing your Pokemon for. So for example, when you're thinking about your speed stat, what common metagame threats do you want your Pokemon to be able to outspeed? If I'm using Galarian Darmanitan as a Galarian Moltres check, then I need to be sure my Darmanitan will be able to outspeed even a max speed Moltres. The same thing is true for bulkier Pokemon. I use the Pikalytics damage calculator, link up here, to check some common threats to my Pokemon and determine how many EVs I'll need in HP, defense, and special defense to survive attacks from those Pokemon. Okay, so I've decided what EVs I want my Pokemon to have. How do I actually give my Pokemon those EVs? So the easiest way to do that is to use vitamins to add EVs to your Pokemon. I'll put a list over here of which vitamins add which stats. Each vitamin will add 10 EV points to the stat that it affects. You can also use feathers or wings, which are found on the bridges in the Galar region, to add 1 EV point at a time to a particular stat. And I'll put a list over here also of which wings affect which stats. If you can't use items to EV your Pokemon, you'll have to battle Pokemon for EVs. Each Pokemon species will give out 1, 2, or 3 EVs to a particular stat when KO'd in battle. I use Cerebi.net, link up there, to see what EVs different wild Pokemon will give. Okay, so I picked my EVs, I followed the instructions to EV my Pokemon, but I messed up. How do I reset my Pokemon's EVs back to normal? This woman in the Isle of Armor right here will wipe all of your Pokemon's EVs for only 10 Armorite ore. Okay, so that was just a quick overview of how to decide what EVs your Pokemon need and how to set them. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and like this video if it was helpful. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss the next video, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!